I asked Kerishnie Naiker, former Miss South Africa and businesswoman, to read two books that could not be more different. Beyond Indigo is the moving story of a young woman's quest to find her own identity amongst a family she loves but finds stifling, while Body Double is a suspense novel guaranteed to set your nerves on edge. Welcome, Kerishnie. Now, you're very brave to be reading Body Double because it is a little scary and a beautiful book, I thought.
It's an absolutely...
Beyond Indigo.
It is. It's a magnificent novel. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really did.
Why?
Well, in a lot of ways I could relate to it. It speaks of a woman, Nina Savani, who is an Indian lawyer. But being an Indian lawyer, she represents artists and painters only because of her own love for painting. But she's actually caught between two separate worlds. That of pleasing her Indian parents and being the typical Indian female of orthodox times where she should be married and not just career-driven. And being raised in an Indian household, you can relate to that. You can relate to the challenges of your parents, or your grandparents rather, wanting you to settle down, wanting you to raise family. Because the mindset is such...
6 children.
Exactly. The mindset is such that you should be a mother and you should be a housewife.
The philosophy of the book is believe in yourself and live your life for yourself. Would you agree?
Absolutely, undoubtedly, only because you can see that the greatest irony in this book is that even though she's been living two separate lives, in living the pretentious life, she actually learned to be herself. She actually learned to become herself. She found out what it was that really drove her, and she realized her dreams, she realized her goals. My philosophy would be to live your life for you, not for society. But in living your life for yourself, don't allow it to positively impact on other people. Don't be selfish in realizing your goals.
But how is that possible? We're talking about tradition here. We're talking about the old grandmothers and all of that. And that's the pressure that Nina has. So how is it possible, or let me put it rather this way, how was it possible for her to live her dreams, to be her own self, and not be influenced by society and by her parents and by tradition?
Well, this is it. She has two distinct lives, and there will be a certain element of mystery here because we don't want to give the entire story away. But there's two separate lives. She has the one life of the supposed practicing lawyer, which her parents assume that she's still practicing as a lawyer. In actual fact, she's not. She dresses up as a lawyer every morning, leaves their home because she lives with them, and goes to her own studio to paint because that's her passion. Her passion is painting. She wants to be an artist. And she doesn't expect to become a famous, popular artist, but that's what she becomes. And when the two worlds, her two separate lives, converge, that's when the truth has to surface. That's when she has to call a spade and let her parents know that this is what she's been doing. I would suggest to women out there who are caught in a situation like so, one who is enmeshed in a vicious cycle, to keep the line of communication open, to be truthful, to be true to yourself, and in being true to yourself, be true to the people that you're trying to please. She tried desperately to please her parents. And I think if she tried to desperately have a reasonable, open discussion with them, perhaps they would have lent her way. They didn't, because every time she tried to broach the subject, she was petrified. She was petrified because of the tradition that she'd been bound by. And, you know, also with respect to what had happened to her sibling.
There's also love in the book.
There's a lot of love in the book.
Yeah.
Yes, she loves her parents immensely. And I think that that's what happens with most Indian women of the olden day, is that you have this love for your folk where you're wanting to please them. You don't want to disappoint them. Inevitably, they want the best for you. And they don't know any better. Where they come from, this is the best for you. So yes, she loves them immensely. And it's because of her love for them that she's afraid of living her own life.